Hi guys, thanks for joining me this week for our 15-ish minute class. Today we're going to run through a brief vinyasa style workout that's going to get our blood moving. It's designed for kind of morning workouts. We're getting up, we're not feeling like we've got a lot of energy. So we're just going to get moving. It's going to be very beginner friendly. You may want to have a couple of pillows, blocks, maybe a belt, but we'll see as we go on. So to begin with, we're just going to come to whatever comfortable seated position. That could be on your knees, cross-legged, propped up on anything you like. We're just going to take a couple of deep breaths just to get us in the right headspace and get us ready for our practice. So emptying all your air out, inhaling for the count of 4 through the nose. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the mouth, 2, 3, 4. And again, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to inhale for the count of 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And release that. Let your shoulders melt down your back. Maybe rolling your neck from side to side, getting yourself ready, getting yourself loose. Now just returning to normal breathing, in and out through the nose, whatever feels the most comfortable. Okay, so coming onto our hands and knees, we're going to start cat-cow. Knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. Inhaling, letting your stomach fall down towards the floor. Shoulders back, looking up towards the sky. Exhaling, pushing the floor away, rounding your back and tucking your tailbone under. Inhaling, looking up, broadening the collarbones. Exhaling, round. You can do this in your own time. You don't have to go as slow or as fast as me. The point is just warming up through the spine, through the vertebrae. Making it really intentional. Just a couple more of those. Last one, inhaling, looking up. And as you round, push yourself back into child's pose. So toe together, knees apart, and just pushing yourself back, relaxing your head down towards the floor. If you find that your hips won't reach your heels, that's fine. You can prop something like a pillow or a blanket there, or you can just hang out here. That's fine. Breathing deeply. Letting your stomach relax, hammocking down towards the floor. And back up. Okay, so we're going to come to standing now. Coming to the front of your mat, we're going to go into mountain pose. Sorry, I know you can't see the top of my head here. My filming space isn't fantastic at the moment, but just bear with me. Bringing your feet together, or a slight space if that doesn't feel comfortable for you. Hands down by your sides. Now, this might look like you're just standing or feel like you're just standing, but we're going to make it a lot more active than that. So starting from the feet, visualize pushing all 4 corners of the feet down in towards the floor. As you come up higher, you're lifting your kneecaps, so that's activating your quads, activating your glutes, slightly tucking the hips under so you can feel a stretch through your hip flexors. That should tighten your core slightly, bringing in your ribs like a corset. Collarbones nice and wide without arching through the chest. Hands active down the sides of your body, so you're like one long line of energy. So this is actually a really active pose. You should be able to feel that now through your whole body. Breathing into the pose. Filling your lungs. From here, inhaling your arms above your head, bending your knees deeply and coming into a loose forward ragdoll pose. Keeping your knees bent, maybe holding on to opposite elbows, swaying from side to side. You might want to open your feet to hips distance. Maybe rocking backwards and forwards on the feet. Testing out your balance. Warming up through the back of the hamstrings. You might try experimenting with straightening one leg and then the other, just seeing how that intensifies the stretch. So this is where you may want your blocks or some books or something. You can prop your hands up. I'm going to bring them on the highest level to begin with. We're going to step back into a lunge position. So right leg first, bringing your leg back, letting your knee drop to the floor and releasing your back toes. From here, letting your hips sink forward, you can bring your blocks back to frame that front heel, pushing into the blocks and opening your chest upwards. So again, we want to be careful that we're not just sinking and flopping into this pose. We want this to be really active. Again, pushing through that front foot, really pulling up through the midline, pushing our hands down. If you still can't reach your blocks, that's absolutely fine. Bringing your hands together like this onto your front thigh, and you can use that to push your torso upwards. You want a feeling of almost trying to scissor the legs towards each other, so there's a complete activation going on between both sides of the body. Making sure your shoulders aren't crowding around your ears and making sure your jaw isn't tight. Now you can use your blocks to get into this next pose, or you can put them to the side. We're going to come into Warrior Two with that same leg forward. So tucking the back toes under, pushing yourself back into a lunge, turning the back toes out, heels in, and then windmilling your arms up. So keeping that front knee bent, lots of energy through the outside of the back foot, front knee stacking over the heel and the ankle. Energy pushing out of your arms, shoulders down, looking over your front fingers. Just a couple more breaths here. Coming into Warrior One. We're going to slightly move the back foot forward so that the heels are now in line with each other rather than the foot and the heel. Rotating your hips forward if you can, keeping that front leg bent and the power still going through that back outer foot. Inhaling, bringing your arms up towards the sky. If your arms are feeling tired at this point, you can bring them down to prayer position in front of your heart. Otherwise, keeping them up. You might like to experiment with bringing the hands together or keeping them shoulder distance apart. Opening back up to your Warrior Two. Brief reverse warrior, bringing your back hand down your back leg, rotating that front arm, stretching all through the left side, keeping that front leg bent. Bringing your hands back towards the floor or the blocks. Pressing yourself back onto your hands and knees and pushing back into your child's pose. So we built quite a lot of heat. We'll just catch our breaths here, breathing in and out gently through the nose. And we've got two sides, so we're going to do that again. Coming back up onto your hands and knees, grabbing your blocks, we're going to come into that lunge on the right side. So this time bringing your right foot forward, bringing the blocks around to frame that front foot, adjusting your clothes if you need to. Letting the top of the back foot push powerfully into the floor and starting to open your chest. Open your chest, tucking that back hip under. Scissoring the legs together. Remembering you can always bring your hands to your thigh if that's more comfortable for you. We're going to come back up into warrior two on this side, tucking the back toes under, pushing yourself into lunge, back toes out, heels in, heel and arch of the foot lining up with each other, bending deeply into that front leg, windmilling, the arms open, hips facing forward, weight going downwards. A consideration in this pose is just to make sure that your front knee isn't opening out to the side or collapsing in. You want it to be tracking over that second toe. Looking over your front fingertips. Pressing evenly through the feet. Coming into warrior two, moving that back foot forward slightly so you're heel to heel, rotating your hips forwards. A little trick here is if you're having trouble moving your hips forward, you can always move your back leg out even further, and that gives you space between your hips. Bending down onto that front leg, arms up towards the sky. Pushing into the outer edge of the back foot. Remember, arms tied, bring them to your hips, bring them to your chest. This practice is all about you, whatever feels best for you. Opening back out to warrior two. Brief reverse warrior, back hand down back leg. Front arm rotating over your face and keeping that front leg nice and bent. Hands back to the blocks. Stepping back, placing your knees on the floor, back to your child's pose. Expanding your chest between your knees as you breathe. And coming back up. Well done. So now we get to do everyone's favourite part, which is the seated poses. Okay, so we're just going to do a seated forward fold here. So this is where you might want a belt or a strap or anything that you have. You can also grab a bolster or some pillows. This can be really handy. This is the first variation we're going to take. So bringing your pillows underneath your knees to keep them bent, hip distance apart. Come and prop yourself up at the top of your sits bone so your back is nice and flat. And from here, we're going to just start to round over. So this is a very sort of yin style forward bend. So we're letting it be very passive and letting gravity do the work here. You can let your feet relax as well and just kind of drape over. Moving your jaw from side to side, just releasing any tension that you might have. Palms facing up to the sky. Moving your neck from side to side. Feels so good. Coming up out of that, you can repeat that again and keeping the block or the bolster there, or we're going to remove the bolster, grabbing our strap, going to go into more of a structured fold, so bringing the strap over the balls of the feet, holding as far up as you feel comfortable, straightening your back, shoulders back, inhale, and then you can just walk your arms and your hands down the straps towards your feet. We're not coming to our very biggest expression of the pose here. We just want a really slight tugging through the hamstrings. Rock from side to side, making sure your feet are flexed and the toes are pointing towards your face. And release. Coming back up to seated. We're just going to do a brief twist before we end here. Laying on our backs, knees towards the chest. And we're just going to let the legs fall over to the left hand side, letting your right arm fall out towards the right, looking over your right shoulder. to center, repeating on the other side, dropping the knees, looking over your left shoulder. Back to center, pulling the knees in tight, rocking from side to side, massaging out the lower back, and releasing everything out. If you've got the space there, which I don't, so just move until you've got the space. There we go. Letting your feet fall out to the side, palms up towards the sky, and letting it all release. And just relaxing here for as long as you want to. If you're ready to get moving again, you can follow me and just stretch your arms above your head, rolling over to the right side and pushing yourself up to seated, letting your head come up last. Well done. Thank you for joining me again today. Hopefully that's boosted your energy and you're now ready to go out there and have a great day. If you've enjoyed learning this kind of yoga with me, you can find more information on my website at vicsmithyoga.com, where I teach live 1-hour classes, group classes and one-on-one classes.